Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, well, we're doing this for a reason. I already know some of your skill set, so I don't need a kind of like um, a background or anything like that. The purpose of this is to really utilize what kind of access you have, and and what I would suggest you to kind of follow after what you have done in the hot seat, because you do have a lot of access, right? So we want to make sure that we kind of create a some kind of a plan now that you are going to follow that, so then you are applying to jobs, right? And at the same time you're kind of practicing, so then it's like you're not forgetting that information. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Perfect.
So the first thing I want to ask you is that, how comfortable are you with your resume that you have right now?
Um, you mean in defending it?
Yes.
Um, I would say I'm in the 75 to 80%.
Okay. And what is this like when you're looking at your resume? And what is your fear right now? Like we would say, oh, if this person asked me this question, I'm kind of a little worried to answer.
You
Right?
know what? Let me pull it up real quickly and I can have a better
Mhm. Pull it up
moment.
and do this. Do me a favor. When you pull it up, remove your name and address so it doesn't come in the record.
Sure, sure. Um, I do know Active Directory and defending it.
Okay. You're
Um,
with Active Directory. Got it.
yeah, hold on 1 second. And VMware and hold on, let me make sure
So you're comfortable with Active Directory. You're comfortable with VMware. Are you comfortable with Office 365?
let me see here. Yes. Believe it or not, it didn't seem like it on Sunday when I did the hot seat, but I really do believe the nerves get you on those situations.
No, that's fine.
Um,
And you did pretty well. I mean, that's normal
oh,
with, with
thank you so much, Danish.
yeah.
Um, hold on 1 second. See, try not to wipe out everything on this. And um, okay, so let me share my screen with you. All right.
Oh, I gotta give
So,
you access here.
yeah.
There you go. You got access now.
Okay. Um, see here. All right. So, all right. Looking straight down through it. Can you see it?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay. So the Microsoft, the first two things, Active Directory, Microsoft, um, Outlook is where I would like to experience a bit more of troubleshooting skills. I
So
feel like
let's make a
it.
note of that. So then I have to show you where to go for Outlook and everything after. So Outlook is where you feel like you're struggling a little bit.
Yes. And then this is so Office 2016 Hyper-V. We touched on that.
Okay, so
What?
are you comfortable with Hyper-V?
Creating within, we worked on several projects within um, our internship and just being able to launch or not virtual boxes, but virtualized machines from it, taking snapshots, um,
Mhm.
and with VMware as well alongside it. And then at home, I have VirtualBox that I use with like older
Okay.
thing, not Windows 10. I have like Windows 7 on it, Windows 8.
Got it. So you're comfortable with that. I will still
Right.
show you a video on or a playlist on virtualization. I'm sure you probably went through that, but
Yes.
I would recommend you to go back on that place, and I'll send it to you once we do this, because
Okay.
in that I show Hyper-V and a VMware in a very detailed way of how it's done. So then it's something that it's more fresh in your mind, that if you don't make a mistake of mixing these two when people are asking.
Okay. All right. And then let me see here. Windows Server. More comfortable with 2016.
So if
I
somebody
don't
asks
know if.
you if somebody asks you about Windows 10 Enterprise, or if they ask you, hey, what kind of experience do you have with the current Windows 10? operating systems. Do you are you comfortable with this, or do you need more help in the Windows 10 area?
Well, using the Enterprise Edition, we were able to do deployments with the WDS and take a user's profile and manage to deploy it on a different machine, setting up desktops the way the user.
That's you're
um,
talking about MD100 lab here, right?
Correct.
Okay. And did you finish all of that,
Yeah,
or
it's all of what you had given us. Obviously, you didn't give us the full playlist. I think there were a couple that were missing, but yes, I
yeah? I
went through the
think
whole thing.
that was for a reason. Okay, good, good. That's exactly what. If you answer that with the WDS, I think that's a perfect answer right there. And of
Oh,
course, you have access to your practice labs to even enhance it more now. So I'll show you how can you go more modern on this now because you have access. Okay.
okay, great. And then Mac OS, that's again, that's what I'm most comfortable with, but not on the enterprise level. I,
That's fine.
personally own a Mac and I can troubleshoot it.
That's fine because most of these positions, Mac is going to be a kind of like an extra thing, So we don't even teach Mac, so that's fine.
Okay, and then Windows Server, I really don't know the difference between 2012 and 2016. Is there a difference? I know I'm comfortable with 2016 and
So if you're not comfortable with explaining this, then just remove 12 in there. Just put 2016 in there because
okay,
of course if you're not comfortable right now, of course you're not going to be comfortable in the interview then. But for your own research, if you feel like you can add it again, then just do more research on the different differences in the features. Yes, there is differences, so you just have to kind of go through that. But don't
got
go
it.
too detailed in that because your job that you're applying for that doesn't require that level of that level of details in your job. Like as an IT support or entry level, they don't really look into that. But
Okay,
having knowledge of Windows Server is always good because, like I said, there could be a one-man IT show type of job, and that may be a little advanced as support, and so then you would have at least that opportunities as well.
okay.
Yeah.
And then ticketing systems, I know I'm familiar with Zoho in that I used Zoho for my business, and then I went in and downloaded a trial for their ticketing system. And of course, Spiceworks, more comfortable with that because of the videos I've watched, and also I'm pretty, I have to go
Have
back.
you
I
have
played with
Yeah,
Spiceworks.
let's talk about that because I think you should go on this one small course. It's a free course. I think you should really take that if you haven't finished that.
Okay.
It's the ticketing systems course, and in that one, the important ticketing system is ServiceNow. I would remove Fresh Service and put ServiceNow once
Okay.
you go over that video because that's a very famous ticketing system. It does make a big difference when people know, oh, you know about ServiceNow. So
Okay.
you will come across that in that course, and I made a pretty new detailed video on that. So you just have to kind of go through it. It's pretty much simple, same concept, just a name in your mind, and just kind of like being more comfortable with it would be good.
Excellent. Okay. And then with the remote shadowing options like Zoom, I'm very comfortable with that. I've practiced my RDP skills
Yeah.
just here at my desk. I'll go from my Mac and RDP to my Windows machine. And then Teams as well. I've downloaded both on my Mac and their Slack seems to be, I've used that quite a bit on remote teams when I was web developing.
Uh-huh.
And the same thing with the option within Zoho. So, and the browsers themselves, very familiar with Google, with Chrome. I liked what you brought up on Sunday, just the timesheets and just taking a look at each one. And I'm sure I'm going to dig
Add-ons
in
and
a bit
things.
more.
Okay, that's good because that's important. People may ask you a question on that, like how do you disable that add-on on this browser or that browser? Do you know what this means? You know where to get to extensions, and it's important. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. And my quick question too, is an add-on the same as an extension? Because I use
Well,
a few.
it's not the same as an extension. There are differences. Some
Okay.
some, some are like full extensions in the browser. They're like they cover. There could be an extension with an add-on. There could be just an add-on. So it's not the
Yeah.
same thing. But Like I said, browsers are changing all the time, so they may even call it add-on. That could be like some browser may just call the whole extension add-on. So
Okay. All
it's
right.
not like there's a difference between naming. So that's
Got it.
you have to look at the browser documentation.
So yeah, I think that was those main areas.
Okay, so
I
you have
definitely want to learn more in Outlook, only because, oddly for my business, I've been a solopreneur, so I've used Gmail, and due to the calendar options and how, most people in my enterprise were familiar with that. So I know that Outlook is a whole new
uh-huh.
puppy and it seems somewhat glitchy from the videos that I have watched and all of the things that you all suggest, especially with the add-ons and going in and addressing those kinds of things too. So
So I see that you have DMV solutions. How would you? Because if they ask you like, "Oh, you're from New York," like where, like currently you're from New York, right?
correct.
So why is this Maryland? How would you kind of defend that?
Oh, sure. Well, right now everything is generally remote, and we worked with a team of IT professionals out of Silver Spring, Maryland. It's a company that established a platform for IT learning as well as training and certification prep. And surrounding that community, there were IT professionals skilled in helping us and giving us weekly challenges, as well as giving us timed events to where, uh, every week we had, which wasn't known to us, what would be given to us in the moment, and then we worked and troubleshooted in a timed,
Mm,
high pressure situation as if it would be in a work situation. So
good job.
uh, we were also able to work through the learning platform and do virtual labs, um, working on servers, Windows 2016. Um,
Nice.
Very dynamic experience, and I feel like it really prepared me for the real IT help desk experience.
Perfect. Okay, good. And I know I like that you put WDS in there, MDT, Microsoft Exchange, ESXi. All of these terms should not be new to you now. I mean, if you're putting it there, you should be able to explain it as well then. If they ask you, because they may just pick something out of it. Like, can you explain me what kind of project have you done on WDS and MDT? Then what would you say?
Yeah, so we were able to deploy Windows 10 machines from a virtual setup and manage to um, set up, like take users, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? A, migrate a user's desktop onto another machine and set it up.
Okay.
And then you can deploy, what's nice about WDS and MDT is it's a tool that helps the IT professional manage a large amount of deployments all within, from
Yeah, I
one
like that.
screen.
I like that generic answer at the end because you want to keep it broader. Don't go too specific. You know,
Okay.
because then you're gonna get involved in technicalities of it. Okay, that's good. That's good. Just practice on a little bit more of that stoppage that you have, like a flow. Like make sure there's a little clean flow. Rest is okay. I think you pretty much have everything here. Um, so now what's the plan over here? How are you gonna apply and what are you applying to? What kind of positions? Do you want to open the browser or do you want me to open the browser?
Yeah,
How-
here's what I have been doing. So I use Notion for I have a lot of, soft skill, tech skills. I run through questions. I don't know. Can you see my screen still?
No, I think
Um,
you're only sharing the document, I believe.
that's right. Okay, let me show you.
It
Hold on
doesn't have
here.
anything personal, right?
Okay. Um, Hold on one second. Let me jump back in.
Yeah, check it first. If there's nothing personal, then sure. If not, then just show me generically on Indeed.com. How are you applying to a, like, how are you looking for a job? I just want to see your thought
Oh,
process.
sure. Yeah, here's and again, I have a list of I track my job applications.
Awesome.
I watched the first batch, and so when was it sent? This is just a shortened version. What the job description is,
That's awesome.
where I found it on LinkedIn. If I was accepted or got any kind of um, information back from them, like for instance
That is
down
great.
here.
So that is
So mostly LinkedIn. Here's some on Indeed, and they were looking for level 2, a little bit reaching there, but what they expected, CompTIA A+,
yeah.
computers to the domain, manage
About
computers
those
while,
requirements.
yeah. So the list goes on. I've been really applying since early.
Okay, so you were applying and you were using the same resume?
No, the resume, I would say just in the past, no, it was like 2 weeks ago that I landed this current resume that I did show you.
So maybe you should also point that in this document that which resume you were using, because that's going to make it easy for us to, because if you got a call from a previous one, then it will be hard to, so okay, is this resume or that resume, right?
Right.
Also, um, how many places are you applying per day?
Well, it goes in bursts. Over the weekend, I've probably applied for 12 positions since Saturday. So I would say about 4 or 5 a day.
4 or 5 a day. Okay, that's good enough. And how
Yeah.
much time do you spend on that?
Some well, I have a generic. I'm always going back and forth with the cover letter issues. Sometimes I apply if I think that it's something over the top that I really want to pursue, and then it's a company that I'm extremely interested. I'll craft a really good cover letter in addition to the resume. I also use
Per job.
JobScan. So it's an ATS helping where I'll run my resume through, slap the job description in there. If it's something, like I said, that I really, really love this company, I like their mission, I will compare the job description to my resume. And I'm on that free program with JobScan, so I get like 5 per month on that. So I'm very specific about which ones I want to nail, just because I realize some of the larger companies do use the ATS system. So, and I'll try and hit above 50% to 60% on that.
Good. Okay. That's
But
good.
yeah, so and again, I'm not new to applying. That's been the most difficult portion of all this, is really getting.
What titles are you using when you look for?
Oh, sure. Help desk support technician. Let me go, like you said, just go straight there and on Indeed, and I will. So every version of information
You show me the
technology.
screen.
Sure.
I just want to see like how do you look for
Yeah.
some titles?
And let me share book. All right. So here's what, remote
Remote.
support IT, hardware. This, oh, wow. Let me see here. So in my, let me go to, wait, hold on. I'm better at the LinkedIn here, because I would say that I'm really working LinkedIn hard.
So then we can just use generic like this. You are using for help desk. So you're using a term help desk, like just generic help desk, right?
Yes.
Then we have desktop support, we have technical support. So you see help desk, generic, bigger word, right? Then you have
Mm-hmm.
desktop, then I have technical support, then I have end user support, then I have field service support, then we have uh, system support, and then we have a specific ones like end user computer technician, help desk technician. So you see how they're putting these technician words in there?
Yes.
So I think start doing with the very bigger, like the broader terms like help desk, right? Because then what happens is that they use keywords. So they may say you're end user support technician, but that doesn't have anything help desk, right? So,
Right.
so what happened is that they still use some keywords. So then that will pop up because of that one big term that you use. Um,
Okay.
Now, if you go the other way, like end user support technician, they may not even use help desk and they will never even come up. So it's like you got to use all of these terms in like short way or specific way to find different type of titles, because there's no standards on these titles. So then you may have a very good job around you, but it will never come up because somebody didn't put a key term in there,
Right.
and
Uh,
and that's where you need to really use different variations of this help desk, desktop support technician, user support technician, and end user technician, um, um, IT support technician. This is a pretty normal one too. Okay, if all of that, all of that you're working, you should also put just information technology, just information,
okay.
because then what happens is that you may have something extremely weird type of title, but it got to do something with the IT, maybe IT support, and that will just pop up. Or it could be a very brand new title, like Office 365 support, right? And you have like, wow, I didn't even know they have support available for just Office 365. Yeah, it could be a company doing that, right?
Hmm.
So you want to make sure that you use a very broad terms in the beginning and then specifically change things around. And that's how I love to do it, because then I find a lot more jobs around me that way. And now because you're using also remote, you can also use a remote ability. If there is a remote job available somewhere in other state, why not? We have people who have landed that way in the community. So, and things are remote all over now, right?
Yes. Yes. So,
Okay, so I think your game of applying is definitely good. It's not, I think maybe just with the um, the level of variation in applying to some kind of targeted jobs would be more. Maybe I feel like maybe you should do more work on that. But other than that, I think you have a pretty solid game going on there. Um, just keep applying, because now you just it seems like you finish everything. You're more confident, uh, and by doing that, I'm sure by next 2 weeks, uh, let's see when, because Christmas is coming, so I'm sure things are gonna go down now. People are gonna go out, right?
correct. Yeah.
So I'm expecting some kind of return by January 6th. January, let's put January 18th is like your concerning date now. 18th. Like
Okay.
if you don't get a call by then and you apply every day to 4 positions till then and you don't get anything good, then that's concerning to me, right?
Yes.
Because that's almost more than the vacations are over, people came back, 2 weeks are gone, and still you haven't got anything back. Then I would say let's work on your resume one more time,
Okay.
because then of course the template that you're using, I like it, it's pretty clean and everything. I have not seen, practically I haven't tested it, so I cannot say too much about it, right? Then if that doesn't work, then you have to come back and we have to do some changes the way we have done so far for everybody, right?
Okay.
But
That
if
sounds
that
good.
if that doesn't work first, because we need to give it a try, we need to say, okay, we give this resume a month and you have about, let's say, 50 or 50 plus places that you have applied and you are not getting any response, then there's something wrong. Then of course resume is your first thing then, right?
Yes, it sure
Because
is.
it's not that you're getting an interview and not getting a job. It's like you're not getting a response. That's where we need to make that decision that, okay, now time to change things. Okay.
Okay.
But right now it's too
Sounds
early to say that because you just started doing this new resume. So let's give it a try. Let's give it some time. Okay.
okay. That
So
sounds great, Danish.
so now I'm going to show you where you need to work on certain things in your own access, because you still, I mean, 30 days, it doesn't matter if it takes you 30 days or 2 months, because she took like 4 months or 5 months to get the job, right? So you still cannot give up on learning. That's something you have to continue till the end of IT career. You have to keep doing that. Okay.
Yes, I completely agree.
Okay.
It's the one thing that I know will give me confidence.
Yeah, like, just think about it. The more you do practice on how far you came now, so you really can't let that go anymore. Like if you don't do practice anymore, then what happens is that the same knowledge that you have learned is just going to get degraded, and at some point you're going to forget it.
Yes.
And so you really want to don't do that, because you spent so much time, you did all the hard work, you invested in also in platforms and other things like that. I'm sure you don't want to, just waste time and money like that, right?
Correct.
Okay, so let me go back into my screen. I'm going to share my screen with you now. Um, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So what I would recommend you to do is first tell me how far are you on your learning path. This is a kind of like a more long-term career skills development learning path. I know you have done fundamentals, but where are you in this area where we say to everybody that, hey, this is the IT support sections, you need to enhance your skills. So in this start self-paced program, which courses are you on, or maybe you're starting? Tell me more about this. Like, this is step one. I'm sure you know about fundamentals at this point, but have you done
Yes. I
this
com
course or any other courses?
I've completed the step one in the help desk support. I believe I'm entered into that. And some of the, I'm trying to figure out which stuff was complete, and you were changing some things
Yeah,
amidst me working in
yeah.
there. And
So we were developing this course, but this is completed now.
okay,
So so this
great.
course is a great course for you after your internship.
Okay,
Some people who don't come to internship and they don't want to do internship, this is actually their next step in their career, like this one right here. So
okay,
this course is kind of like, think about a replicate or a duplicate of internship, basically, because we teach you the same skills that you have learned in internship in this course as well. But this is a little bit more uh, shorter versions of videos. Like, for example, we talk about, virtualization. You say that you're not comfortable with, or maybe you're like, you have done some Hyper-V. So here, then you have a whole step about Hyper-V, how it started right here. You see this Hyper-V, then creating a full images in Hyper-V and everything. So everything is in very detail. Like, it's a very much one video, second video, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So it's not like very fast paced or somebody watching you. It's like your own pace going on. Okay.
mm-hmm. Okay,
So I highly recommend you come back over here. Make sure you watch every single video. Don't skip any video in this course specifically, because that's the core of your technical skills now, right? So when
mm-hmm.
you come to um, this area, it's the same thing that you're going to come across at, oh, server installation in VM. Like, for example, install a fresh Windows 10 for staff machine, and you did that in from a blog, right? So that's exactly the same thing that's happening in this course now. But it's 3 minutes, 10 minutes. Like I said, it doesn't push you too much. So you're doing this on yourself kind of paced learning, and you're developing skills in a long-term way. Okay.
Okay,
So if you come down, you see that there's an inventory, there's software deployments, and that goes into more detail than just you knowing PDQ installation from one machine to another machine. It goes beyond that. You can see there's
okay,
a manage engine, there's SCCM. People can ask you SCCM questions, right?
uh-huh.
So now you see that this goes into more detail of expanding your technical skills for long term now. Okay. So
Great.
while you're applying, you're in this course, you're getting better, like a level, almost level two. You're becoming a level two person, even though you don't have that hands-on knowledge. But here you're learning that hands-on knowledge. So what this is basically, these are videos, and of course, this requires our own servers. But you have your own labs. You have a domain controller running. You have your virtual machines running. You can easily replicate the same thing that you see over here in your own lab. Okay.
Yes.
Now, if you
And
come,
I do have your membership, so I have full access.
okay, so the membership will come in play right here. So you see, this is something that we give our live members, and live was pretty much like what Heifer took, right? So we
Mm-hmm.
give our own servers in the live membership, but this is where you can see everything and kind of replicate. But your membership will kick in right here. You see how it says module 16?
Yes.
then that's where your membership labs will come in, because this module 16 is a part of your fundamental course. So for fundamental, we stopped till module 15 because we thought that's good enough for fundamental. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Module 16 is a part of this course. Then you will pick your labs. Then for let me open, like, let's say, for example, this malware removal best practices. So when you click on it, a teacher is explaining a whole lecture on this. It's a 6-minute lecture. Then he goes into use Windows Defender in Windows 10. So when you click on it, you know it's a part of which course in your lab. If I click on it, so you know how to access that, right? 220.1002 in your practice.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So then you use your premium membership access because you're a premium member. So you're not just watching a video then. But in before this, like all of this stuff, you have done this in your internship hands-on. But like I said, to get those servers, then of course we don't give that in even in premium membership because those are our own servers, right? So and that new thing we have started, we give complimentary access to premium members if it's available. So make sure if you want to get that access, so just let us know ahead of the time. So then if somebody's using it, we know that, okay, Meg, we can give it to you at this time, okay?
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
But again, know the difference that this is something that we used to give in our live membership, which is $1,500 training, right?
Wow.
So that's
Yes.
the one that Haifa and other people took because these are real servers. We have to give it to you, rent it for you, and all that. That's kind of expensive stuff right there. But
Okay.
premium membership, you definitely want to still utilize your lab because that's, I think, at this point, even if you really don't want to invest too much in this area, I would say because you did internship, I don't feel like you would need this because it's the same thing and you're going to see the same thing again and again. Unless you really want it, that's a different thing. But that's something you have done in your internship. So you can quickly zoom through it. And I would suggest to come down to this place more because this is all in your membership, in your premium membership, and these labs are just telling you where to go then. So if you click on here, module, let's say basic of scripting, and you want to know about, let's say, PowerShell, right? Create a PowerShell script. So when you click on it, it's going to tell you which course you need to be in. So if I click on it again, it's going to, there you go. It's going to take you to the same lab again. But even if it's a different lab, make sure you watch that and just go back to your premium membership and then open that lab and that same module. Okay.
Perfect. All right.
All right. So I think that's a good step for you to not make you confused because, we have so much in this platform. I can show you many things right now, but the since you have not started this course, I don't think we should move forward than this because it's such a big course. You really need to finish this to gain that more technical knowledge now, to get really deep with this, certain things that you have learned, but now you're going per module and a module goes deep in one section. Let's talk about VPN, and it goes more deeper in VPN, right? So that's where I think you need to enhance your skills now, and not just stick to extreme basics of like, okay, you learn this, you have a good idea of this, and you have one or two examples, but what about learning this a little bit more deeper way, right?
Right.
So maybe make this course your learning goal, and the rest of the things that you're doing right now, just keep applying to the jobs. And if you got the job, then you're gonna let us know, and we will help you that they're using this type of technology. And if you come across, oh, they're using some modern technology like they're using Intune with Azure, and we're using Office 365, and do you have anything like that? And as a premium member, you have access to MD100, which you already know, and MD101, which is all Intune, Azure, stuff like that. We almost finished that course. So you started a work, you came back to us. I'm a premium member. I have access to the labs. If you're still actively are a premium member, because labs are 1 year access.
Right.
So let's say you don't have access to the labs. You can still come to us and we'll say, okay, you're still a premium member, so you still have a lifetime access to our lab videos. So even if you don't have access to the labs, you still have access to the lab videos, the MD101 video access for lifetime. And the more we make, you still have access to that for lifetime.
Oh, wow. That's one thing. All
Yeah,
right.
that's something a lot of people don't know. They think that you have to pay again and again for videos to retain that membership. You don't even have to be a premium member. You can be even plus member and still access to our videos. So it's a very powerful access once people know how to use it.
Thank you so much, Danish.
So I believe you have a good steps there. Just follow that. And I think I want to do another meeting with you if things are not going good. January 18, we decided, right?
Yes.
All right. So keep me up to date, keep the community up to date, and then let us know how it goes. And do you have any other questions? And are you satisfied with this meeting? Like, do you think that this is good for you to get started, or any concerns?
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I appreciate it. I'm so glad that, thank you for completing that whole program on the help desk. When I'm going through, I have to say meetings with you tend to focus me because there is enormous amounts of information. And if I hadn't met with you today, I was just going to continue on with the MD 101 and in the labs, which I'm still, I'm going to complete that after this help desk. So that's the plan.
Yes, MD 101 is definitely a future. I can tell you that. MD 100 and MD 101. MD 1 specifically is the future right now, and that's where we are going to go into. We may integrate either MD 101 in this learning path, or we may make that as an advanced skills, because we have to see, we have to balance it, and where is the current trend going. So then we're going to either make that as a level 2 skills, or maybe just replace some courses here and kind of like do that. But
Yeah.
for members, it's already available. At this point, we can still guide people like, hey, you need a MD 101 or MD 100 practice. And do you know that you can really do this too? Like, if you really, like, let's say, you know what, I'm still going to learn it, right? Of course, you don't have to just stick to my, things, because you know your own learning too. So, as a premium member, you have access to this area where it's called Learn with Labs. Okay, you're going to click on that. I'm going to show you something here. So this is the area that we have developed recently. And for example, if you want to learn about CompTIA A+, you're going to come over here and it will tell you which titles can you target with this lab. And it will tell you the target. So if you forgot those titles that I'm mentioning before, this is where it is right now. You see this?
Mm-hmm.
So you can come over here. So if you want to watch a full lab video course, then you can take the course. But since you're a premium member, I recommend you use this feature where it says do live practice now. So when you click on it, you see the practice lab page opens up. So on the left side, it's going to give you information here. Your username and password will be here just to make it easy for you. You can hide this left side, and on the right side, when you start doing labs, you can click on search videos, and it's going to tell you exactly module first. So if in your lab you're in module first and you're like, man, I'm tired of this whole step-by-step approach and I don't have time, let me just watch a video. So you click on the video, and this is where instructor Ali will pop up, and his video will just pop up there.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
in the same way, you can go back, and if you feel like, hey, I want to learn new stuff. So let's go back to the Learn with IT Labs, and you're going to scroll down, and this is where it is, MD 101 right now. This is where it is, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you click on MD 101, and again, this is targeting a little more titles now. You see Office 365 Administrator, Systems Administrator, System Support Specialist, Associate Network Engineer, because we all work on this area a little bit here and there, okay?
Yes.
So you click on Do Live IT Practice, same thing. When you click on Search Videos, you see it's MD 101 Labs from Module First now, and that's going to be completed probably the end of this month, or probably the first 2 weeks. The whole lab will be completed, and this is all advanced and modern stuff right now.
Excellent. Excellent.
So you got a lot of access. Do utilize it. Don't just, like leave the labs. Labs is very important. That's the most powerful access that you have right now. So just use that. And I'm sure at some point you're just gonna know this stuff like probably better than anybody.
I'm so excited for that moment, and I'll continue learning. I know that that is so important in tech. So I'm also gonna, say I really greatly appreciate your most recent creation with the command line videos. Those are rocking too. So I fit occasionally if I'm, even standing in line somewhere, I will I will access my YouTube and get on there and get in the command line videos. So that is some powerful stuff. So thank you.
The instructor did a great job. That's not me, by the way. It's another instructor. He's really good at this stuff.
Well, yeah, and with your narration at times, and just really, you guys landed it. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll continue on that. There's a new video coming soon for the command line. So he's gonna actually make a video. on how to use a command line commands for IT support. And so it's going to be one video and just doing IT support commands, just like what
Oh,
you guys did in the hot seat, right? That's
yeah.
exactly what you want to learn. So he's going to make a whole big video on that, and he's going to show everything in that. So that's going to be the last video, and then after that, we may move on to more PowerShell, depending on how things goes. But yeah, I mean, even in this labs, they have a pretty good command line stuff.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Danish. And thanks for your time. And wow, just inspiration through all this.
All right, I'm waiting for a good news and success story, and
Same here. Thank you.
thank you so
We'll
much.
make it happen.
All right, all right, take care.
You too. Bye bye. Thank you.
No problem. Take care. Bye bye.